path of growth, people must at first experience what it's like to actually be stuck. And I feel like this stuckness is something that we all experience, whether it be conscious or not. But this being said, the comfort in being stuck is far more valued than I feel like it should be. In my own experience, assimilation with these false assumptions is very comfortable, allowing lower expectations of ourselves to guide the way that we traverse through this world. The desire to remain as we are is ultimately what limits us. No person who has ever actually lived knew themselves completely. They've never been in any situation that actually provoked a new side of them. They just didn't actually get the opportunity to react in a certain way. What we do is experience a couple things and allow those few things to ferment an identity for ourselves. We think that we know ourselves in these certain situations. So as a result, it is so much easier to be stuck in the same place with the comfort of thinking that we know the self. The notion that who we are as people is final is one that is going to cause a great deal of suffering. And I feel like another thing that really holds us back is our expression, more so the expression of themselves. I talk about this a lot, but back in my past, I used to use humility and humbleness as a way to lower expectations of other people on myself. And of course, done in moderation, humility and humbleness are great things to actually practice, but when done to a certain extent, they become detrimental to who you are as a person. And this, I feel, has done a great disservice to me. Not being able to express when I actually achieve something good has diminished the overall emotional reaction when something grand happens. We are stuck not only because of our comfortability, but because of our suppression of our expression. Suppressing those parts of us that seek out change and want to be unstuck. Many things are also taken too serious in a sense. We treat these frail assumptions about the future almost as if they were absolute truths rather than some type of speculation on something that could possibly happen. We allow all the experience of our past and everything we've learned up to this point to basically be thrown out the window in regards to our future. We think that for some odd reason, our future is going to be drastically different than any of the events that have occurred in our past. We practically allow it to blow away in the wind. This allows the present to be clouded in a almost anxiety-like fog where we think that good things are less likely to occur than bad. But the most alarming detail about all of this is that we truly actually don't know anything about the future. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how we're going to be in the future. So it pays us no mind to try to assume what's going to happen. What's the point of worrying about the future if in the now worrying is not going to do anything for the future? No grand change can be made where we stand now in reference to these small minute occurrences in our future. And I'm not talking about grand scheme things like you can study for your tests so you do good. I'm talking about things like, oh, I have a presentation I prepared for. What if I do something crazy in the middle of the class? Something like that. Things where our anxiety almost seems kind of crazy. So now we just have to pretty much exist and allow our story to unfold right before our eyes. If we don't know what's yet to come, how in the world is there an expectation for us to choose some sort of path in our own lives? I mean, to be honest, most people lack the self-awareness to even identify what their favorite food or favorite color is. So how in the world are they going to choose a path that's going to push them towards a future? As a high school senior, in reference to my life as it stands now, I'm faced with some of the most hectic or life-altering decisions in my life. And I feel like society does us a great disservice by forcing us to make these decisions about a time that has yet to. We don't allow a lot of room for trial and error. And we talked about this in a podcast that I posted on Wednesday, or what day was that? February 8th. And we talked about how something that some parents have done wrong in the past was not allow their children to experience things before they made their decisions. And I feel like society does the same thing. We don't get any trial and error in regards to how we want to live out our lives. We're expected to choose a career off of pretty much blind faith and have it go well. So if society really makes us stuck, how do we move forward? Move forward in our own lives, we must first start living in I'm making a video, bruh. You suck. Look at this goofy man. To move forward in our own lives, we must first start by living by our own standards, rather than allowing this polluted nonsense to percolate into our own mind. To move forward is to be negligent of society, for that is one of the only ways we can actually identify ourselves without any type of external stimulation. We spend our lives attempting to become individuals in a world that makes some of our decisions for us. None of us have gotten the opportunity or have done something that is holistically new, in a sense that it has no reference to some other thing. Like, people wanted to toast bread, they made a toaster, right? Things like that, things that need some type of application. This, whether it be the nature around us or another creator. In this game of life, referencing is something that is constantly done, and I feel it is almost necessary in order for us to maintain any type of standing inside of our own mind. You see something that you like, you adapt it to your own use, and then you push it out for more people to use how you use it or to find their own way. And I'm no exception for this, of course. This thing I'm doing with philosophy, this entire channel, is highly impacted by the works of other philosophers and the general consensus of those who feel as if they have the correct mental standing to actually observe what is going on around them. And I feel like to move forward, we must first acknowledge where some of this knowledge is coming from. And I feel like as a society, when it comes to giving the credit that is due, we kind of fail. And I feel like if we don't really acknowledge what happens in the past, those things are going to have a long-lasting impact on us and kind of breed opportunities for mistakes to occur in our future, whether that be some opportunity that is missed because of your lack of acknowledgement of certain circumstances. To take a step is to take a leap of faith. No one person is capable of knowing what will occur in the future, and more so how we will react in these over thought out situations.